Learner profile attribute that would fit the unit would be communicators, because whenever we do labs, like with all the equipment and like taking notes, we need to communicate in order to do it properly.
I agree with switching on communicators because you have to talk with each other so you're not fighting over something and you don't break something or injure yourself.
Especially in the labs.
Yeah, especially.
I think reflective, because in this unit we reflect a lot on what we're doing in the labs, and also balanced, because in this unit we do a lot of fun stuff. We do some fun stuff and some serious stuff, and so they kind of balance each other out.
Cool.
I think that principled would be good because, like, if you're not principled, then something can go wrong, and something can go wrong. So.
And labs don't work, and.
Yeah. Also, balanced, because there's like. The labs are fun, but they're also serious because you have to do it right, or else something will go wrong. And but they're fun, so yeah.
Again, I wonder whether you agree the three we chose are the best. Would you replace one? I'd like to hear from you also when we're going around.
And, I think they're good. Inquirers is really good because, like, in chemistry you have to ask questions, or else, like, that's how new things are discovered. And knowledgeable. Well, knowledgeable is good because you have to be knowledgeable to do something in chemistry.
The summative assessment would expect you to be knowledgeable.
Yeah, a lot. And like in knowledgeable you like, if you're not knowledgeable, then something will probably go wrong.
Okay, let's go to your classmates. Thanks.
Well, I personally think that all those are great, but I would add, I also like Adrian's idea of balance, because we balance different things. I also think communicator is good because you have to communicate. And I think maybe risk taker and open-minded, because when you have to take risks when you're doing an experiment, you don't know what will happen. An example of that is the dry ice, because I was a little bit scared to try the dry ice to see what happened to it after you put it inside the apple juice.
Fatima? Sure.
I think that inquirers was good because you need to ask questions or else something will go wrong. And thinkers is also good because you need to not just have fun but think a lot about it. And reflective would be good to add because we did a lot of chemistry and activities, but after that we always reflected about them.
Yeah, some of these could go for each unit. Reflective is one that we reflect on. My concern is we may be reflecting too much. We're doing, yeah.
I think all of them are great. The learner profile attributes, but we can add principle, like Keita said, because you have to be independent when you're doing the lab, because you won't be like saying what to, you'll tell us the directions, but you won't be like doing it for us. So we have to do it by ourselves, and like you have to trust us. So.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I forget.
It's our unit, because you can use your background knowledge from other things, and you also need to be a thinker and an inquirer to be knowledgeable. They all kind of connect.
So you can, the things we did, you can use your experience, your background experience to help you. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah.
I think that, like Hannah said, all of them, knowledgeable is good because you need to use your background knowledge, and thinker is good because you sort of need to think about, they're all good. And I think also being balanced, like Adrian and a lot of people said, because there's like sort of like a serious side to what we do in our unit chemistry, and there's also like a side that's kind of for doing
Right.
and being less serious, but you still need to be serious.
Cool. Marco, do you want to add something?
I think being reflective because, like you said, we do probably reflect a little bit too much in this unit, but it's mostly about reflecting
Yeah.
because every time in the lab we do an experiment and then we reflect on it, and I just think that's like a big part because if you didn't reflect on it, you'd forget about it. And
It wouldn't be the same. There could be no learning. Reflecting is a way to kind of check
and
up.
also, when you're watching the experiment, we get all excited, and maybe we're not thinking about it like deeply. But then once it's over, and you say, "Okay, guys, now we have to reflect," I think we become a lot more serious when we actually start thinking and looking back to what we were doing.
Cool.
I think risk takers is one.
How is that true for you?
Because whenever we do something, some people would maybe get scared or something. Like how Seth and Aiden, they took a risk and they did the fire, and both of them they would.
Aside from the labs, but presenting your project for us, on Penny, you're presenting right now, that's a bit of a risk. Huh?
I also think open-minded is one, because you need to be open-minded for when you're doing experiments, like to what you're gonna do, and also being open-minded to share your ideas in front of the class,
And also to hear other people's ideas, being open to their ideas as well. Dirk?
I think that caring would be a good one because you have to be caring to the materials that you're using, and if you're not caring to your group or your partner, then and if you start fighting, you could break something maybe, and if you're not caring to the materials, then they could get broken. And with the chemicals that you use in
But do you think the ones we
labs,
chose are really the best ones? Would you replace one of them?
I think that I would.
Is there a better one that we left out?
Well, they're all pretty good, but I think that carrying would be another good one.
Good. Marco?
I think Inquirer is a good one because you need to ask questions to know what they do, because then you would never really know. And I would replace knowledgeable and put in reflective because you need to remember what you actually did instead of just knowing it. You need to remember it.
I think what Marco said also, that
Yeah.
you're so involved with doing it, then you step back and say, so what did we do it for? What
We
happened?
do it so we can, I guess, make the world a better place. I don't know, really.
Could be. Shiva?
I think they're all pretty good, but another one, like other people have said, is balance, because it's not just doing the experiment the whole time, because then you might not remember your findings, so also reflecting after, which is kind of like reflective.
And that's why I would do it, Shubats. And when you're going to be a teacher in your life sometime, either to children or to adults, and going back and talking about it afterwards it's important to do. Without that, you're missing a step. Aiden?
I think the three we put up are good for this unit, but in either a big way or the small way, all the other ones below it actually relate somehow to our unit. Like balanced is you have to do like the fun part, the experiment, and then like the more seriously part, like reflecting and testing it out. And then like risk takers, you have to take lots of risks for like in a physical way, and then like in a way like talking here right now. And so those are some examples of how the things would fit in. But like the main five would probably be the three up there, balanced and risk takers. And caring might be up there too, because you have to be really caring about like the materials you have and about the people you're working